Welcome to the Rack in Review, a comprehensive look into propeller heads, reasons, devices, and refills. On one of my last episodes, we did a review of the McDSP Compressor Bundle. Now, along with that, there was also the May sale going on in the shop. Now, I spent far too much money, and hopefully you didn't spend too much of your own, but if you did, you probably bought at least one compressor. Now, if you did listen to my review, I did give the McDSP Compressor Bundle a 4.5 stars out of 5. It pretty much excelled everywhere, from features, to the workflow, to aesthetics, to the uniqueness, all the way down, except for in price. That's the only spot where I seem to go pretty hard on them. Now, in doing comparisons with the McDSP Bundle, which I had purchased, and other things that I was somewhat interested in, I started to find some interesting facts out. Now, I got a hold of the VMG1 sample delay, which I used to basically figure out the amount of latency created by different devices. Now, along with using that, I went ahead and also did some stress tests. When you take a number of devices and put them in a chain together, it puts a lot more stress on the DSP than having them on individual channels. It also lets you get a pretty good snapshot of exactly how stressful this thing is going to be within your workflow. I also found something very interesting about that. Now, number one, all the McDSP devices have zero latency. That means there's not even one sample of latency caused by anything else. This isn't something I can say about every other compressor I worked with, and especially one of the ones found in another bundle I was looking at. Now, I also found that the compressor I was looking at purchasing in one of the other bundles was also pretty similar to the MooTube. Now, the compressor I'm talking about is F-Expansion's DCAM bus comp. Now, it does have some other features in there that aren't quite exactly the same, but for what I really needed and really wanted, I already have a number of different compressors, so it's really trying to find something that adds a massively different flavor, or at least that's subtly massive, as far as compressors go. Now, what was really interesting is after doing all of this, I started running some of my own tests. Now, while the latency is very important, the more important thing for me is how many of these things I could chain together. So I started putting together a list. Now, with all of these compressors, I threw these things on their either initial or default patch. Now, with the propeller head M class, you get at least 363 before you even start to see 2 bars used in DSP. Now, keep in mind I'm doing all of this on my i7, which is my higher end laptop. We'll get into the lower end laptop, which is the benchmark, when we get to the McDSP. Now, with the C1 Alpha with 4 times upsampling, I could get 18 of these things in the chain. With it at 1 times upsampling, I could get 46. Now, Dynarage with the default high quality, I could get 18. The same thing with the tube enabled, only gave me 14. Now, Dynarage at low quality could give me up to 33. And with the low quality with tube, could give me 27. Now, with the soft tube FET, I could get 23. And finally, the DCAM bus comp gave me 18. Now, McDSP C670 gave me 126. The Frog 4RE gives me 121. And the MooTube 118. Now, even on my low-end laptop, I could get 75 C670s, 75 Frogs, and 72 MooTubes. That's a ridiculous amount of ability as far as compression. Now, all of this considered, I have to go ahead and give them that half star back. It doesn't make sense to remove a half star on price when clearly they put enough time and effort to make this one of the most outstanding DSPUs or CPU using rack extensions. Now, granted, some of the other rack extensions use more power based on the things that they're doing, and I enjoy the sound they create. I enjoy to be able to use these things, but knowing that you can use these 3 rack extensions all over the place and not have to worry about it really impacting your song's DSP use is a great thing. So we're giving this thing a perfect score. Now, if you haven't picked up the bundle yet, for some reason they've allowed us to go ahead and keep picking these things up at a discount up until the end of the month. So if I were you and you have not trialed them, try them out. Save yourself some money and also save yourself some time. Save yourself some DSP. Well, this has been the Rack and Review. Please like if the video was at all helpful to you. Comment if you have any questions, and subscribe. There will be massive changes coming up soon, so please stay tuned. There will be another video following up specifically with this. Well, this has been Fretless Fingers with the Rack and Review, and I'll talk to you later.